So we will start implementing the storage for our applications storage, and I will create the class with name storage, and here we will going to use the local storage as the browser storage here. So because using of this thing is important, because local storage allows the 5 MB of storage for any kind of key, so we will be able to store much of data with it. So let's try to implement it. So I will create few method signatures: public save, public read, public delete, and the update would not be there, or you will use the save methods itself. So here we will need a string, a key with type string, and a value of type any. This will work, and this will return boolean here, return false right now. So so in the read I don't need a value here. Alright, so now we need to make sure that we are setting these keys to the local storage. So for this thing I'm just using local storage dot set item, and here I will take the key and the value. So this key would be the string, and once I return it, so I will just return true here right now, or this don't return any boolean, instead it will return any, and local storage dot get item, and the key that the one you wanted to read. In the delete data here as well we need a only, local storage dot remove item with this name key. Alright, so these are the few basic stuff that we needed to set up, and so in case if you need to write some other stuff, so you can use this return true and false, or the like encryption methods are used here, or something else. So read all keys. So here what I will do is, so I will call the local storage, I will get all the keys from it, and with these keys so this is the key, and I will make one local cache here, which is the type of map of type string common. So here the local cache is initialized, and we will use the local cache to avoid the operations of the time that we are making. So what we will do here is this dot local cache of key is equals to local storage of So here the main reason of it is what we are doing here is we are creating the key and we are storing the value that we have in the local storage right now. So this method will help us to recover the cache so that it will be fast read than instead of going to the local storage. So let's try it out just by calling this method from app component. So this storage is again so as this is the service provided in root and it doesn't depend on anything. So here I will take this, let's inject it to the app loader if it is needed. Okay, so let's import it here only. Private storage equals to storage the storage class. Okay, so this dot storage dot set save, I will save the key with name A, comma value is B. This dot storage dot read, key name is A, and I will console log this. And later I will remove this storage key, remove key name A, and I'm just checking the key again. So hopefully it will run properly. So I will run it here. Okay, so by the time it runs, what we will do here is we need to recover the local cache. So we have to make sure that this dot read all data, which is synchronizing the local cache with the local storage. So using both of them is, so the local cache is the memory which is available in the variable, so we need a very less time instead of the local storage. So whenever that data is there or whenever the data is possible, it will be read from the local cache. Okay, so this was the key, and after deleting it, it doesn't have any value here. Alright, so now what we will do is we already checked with this, so now we have to implement some cache logic here. So we will implement this cache here in the new, I will import, or I will create a new class for a cache, ngg class cache storage. So this cache storage will be used for implementing the cache logic, and I will take this local cache to this local cache storage here. So this will help us to divide the logic of using the local cache, so that we can implement much things here for writing the different logic for like cache validate, invalidating the cache. Later we can even write the logics for the different stuff like the TTL for the cache and other stuff. So once it is done, so we need this singleton instance. So inject table here, and it will be provided in root. Okay, so this storage needs the local cache storage. So private cache store is cache storage here. So this local cache will be this dot local or the cache store dot local cache, which is already initialized here, so we don't need it to do. And we are initializing this local cache, sorry, the cache store to this value. So the cache store should have the different kinds of methods, so that these methods should be directly accessed from other stuff, so that we can add the logins here properly. So I will add the private AL, which is the application logger we created last time, or sorry, the logger, I think. Yes, so this AL will be used here. So AL dot AL dot log a message. It is of type messages setting the cache, and message or the label here is the string which is debug. Okay, so this storage will be used here. So instead of you're directly calling this value here, you have to call this method, and I have to make this thing private, so that you cannot directly use this local caching. And I will use this local cache and the key here, and the value is type of any, and this key should be of type string. So whatever value that you want to set will be directly set to this local cache by this method. So set cache and the k and the local storage of k, which is the value of this cache. So when you are reading the values from this cache or the local storage, so the storage have a responsibility to give this cache value, or it have to synchronize this cache to the local storage. So we have to make sure whenever we are setting an item, we have to synchronize the cache store with set cache value, and whatever key I am getting here, I have to put that value in the cache as well. So will synchronize the cache store and the local storage as well. So while reading it, so we have to make sure that the local storage cache or the local cache have that value. So I will get it cache value is equals to this dot cache store dot get cache, or I will write some good name here. So get from a cache if cache value return cache value, otherwise this next statement will be automatically executed. Okay, so I have to prepare, or I have to write this method here, which will help my cache to get the value, where this string is of type string, and this local cache I have to look for local cache of key, and I have to return this value to it. So I will put the debug level log here, reading the cache for key. I will use some good stuff here, and for this key, and the label is this. And you can even write this method like cache is valid or not. So let result is equals to this, and I will write some is found, true, otherwise it's false. So now the get from a cache will log the result automatically, and I have to return this result to the caller. So now we will try to operate on the same logic that we have defined earlier, and I will stop the stack trace here. Module here I was using this tracing for routing, which you don't need now. So the level of the let's set this level in the app config to debug right now. Okay, so reading the value for cache A is found true. So now here we are returning the value from local storage. So not from the local storage, instead we are doing it from these cache store. So now here we are having this storage which is setting the cache, and again we have the storage class which is setting it to the your regular cache store or the local storage. So let's try to figure out that what happens when the cache is not found here. So let's try out with that case as well. So as it is already removed, so I'm trying to read the key A, which should be set by the cache that not found. So this is not found, then it was set and it is found true, and again from the cache it is found true. Even after the delete we are not removing the key, that's why the cache store don't know about the cache value is not there. So invalidate cache is a function which will help us for removing the cache from, or the cache value from the local cache. So this dot local cache of k, which will be deleted. So here in the storage I have to say here that this dot local, sorry, the cache store dot invalidate a cache with name key, and here I should now be able to get the false again. So now the cache is running properly with or synchronized with this local storage. But what will happen if the value is not in the local storage, sorry, the local cache, but which was found in the local item? So in that case, or the local storage is the value is there, in that case I need to make sure that it should always present in my cache. Local value is equals to this, and if I get the value which is a local val here, so I have to synchronize the cache store with it. So set the cache with name key and the local value here, and otherwise I will return the local val. So we are avoiding the any operations which are not valid or the data synchronization process should be always managed from here. So now we are ready with it. So the local the read all the data should be called at the when the application is loading up. So I have imported this I called this here, and I'm using it the AL as the logger here. So I will tell the logger that AL dot al dot log message, which is of type syncing the cache store with local storage, and the type of it is, so the label is debug here. So here I have to make sure how many keys that I found. So let keys equals to this, and I will say it should iterate on the keys. So this let's write the message properly. So this will say us that how many keys to be synchronized. Okay, so the local, it was having the PayPal storage key, but we don't need the value of it. Instead, I'm just interested in the keys, number of keys that the storage. So 2 keys needs to be synchronized. Okay, so the logging looks good. Again, the local storage and the cache store is now ready. So let's see how we can demonstrate this in the next video.